Sensei, and today is another review of a very special coin. It's a token. It's a privacy coin, and man, they're hot, you know. They're so hot that they're under the scrutiny of governments worldwide. This one is Telecoin, and I'm sure it's going to make a burst on the scene. So when we talk about privacy coins, I think you've heard like OKEX in Korea has delisted like 5 privacy coins. Hello. These coins are like Dash, Monero, Horizon, Zcoin, and Super Bitcoin. And this is because the Financial Action Task Force rules. Yes, they investigate countries for this, you know, for example, even Pakistan. And they have said that, you know, if you want to do a transaction, you must know the sender and receiver. And of course, you don't know this, then it's delisted. You don't meet the FATF requirements. But here we have another one, a different case. And this is about another privacy coin, but with a special twist. And it is Telecoin because it already has something that encourages the usage of its coin. An actual use case put in real life. Let's go to the inside, guys. Please note that this show is only for educational purposes. All trades that you see here should be taken first in a demo account and is meant to reduce your learning curve. Having said that, should you want to take real trades, you should consult your financial advisor first. Although I do trade real accounts, I'm not recommending any of these trades for you. It is up to you if you want to follow me and take it in demo accounts. Thank you very much. Welcome back, and this is the edition where we're going to discuss Telecoin. This is a very exciting sector, which is privacy. There's not a lot of hype now, but there has been a lot of news because of privacy coins not meeting FATF and getting delisted by exchanges like OKEX and many more. The interesting case is that for Telecoin, at least, there is a real use case, and they're kind of forcing the use case so that there's more uses for this. The tokenomics is very good because they have basically launched a listing on LA token. It's an IEO, and that has a lot of credibility. Not only that, LA token is like a top 20 exchange. They have a roadmap already for development. And of course, when you talk about the business model, because they have a way on how to get people into a community and building communities, I'm sure that this coin will be applied by the community, and this should lead to more use cases of it, which should lead to maintaining the value and utility of the coin. So what is Telecoin? Basically, it's an energy efficient high-end encryption. Okay, it's encryption. It's of course privacy. It uses a lot of new technology, and yeah, it's basically a P2P privacy network, which I really think makes it very interesting for us all here. So, you know, privacy coins have been maintaining their value relative to other coins. They're kind of holding there. Of course, they've crashed, but still there is value to it. You know, coins like, you know, Zcash, Dash, Monero, and all that. But now you can see that, you know, as far as big tech is concerned, governments are really trying to meddle their way in. And you can see in the case of Facebook Libra, right? So when you talk about privacy coins, you know, they're maintaining their value. Things like Dash, Monero, of course, have been holding their value very well, especially Monero. But you know, I think now is the time where the governments are really coming down hard on a lot of cryptocurrencies, especially those that have privacy issues. For example, you could see in Libra, right? Libra's case here.
Will there be more Canadian dollars in the Libra Reserve to meet potential redemptions?
No, Congresswoman. The way that the reserve basket will be determined will be stable and continue to be stable, and we will work with the G7 working group to ensure that it has the proper.
Thank you. And so this governance over the reserve is the Libra Association, correct?
Yes, it is, Congresswoman.
And so currently the Libra Association is governed by Facebook, Uber, eBay, Spotify, Visa, Thrive.
That what they basically did was that they really grilled Libra down. You know, they really grilled the CEO of Libra. You know, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Can you do this? Can you do that? In front of the United States Senate. And also that you can see OKEX Korea here delisting privacy coins, citing Financial Action Task Force rules. So this is a body that actually checks even countries, okay, and determines whether there's a lot of money laundering going on. So, for example, I can cite you that when the FATF basically audited Pakistan, Pakistan was even basically compelled to say that, you know, they're going to have digital currency on the Pakistani rupee by 2025 as a way to combat money laundering and all that. Because for cash, it's very, very easy to do money laundering. So you know that a lot of governments now fear the loss of sovereignty. So what they do is, you know, they really are very scared of cryptocurrency and more so of privacy coins. You see even Libra being grilled by the Swiss authorities, right? So, but the thing is, privacy has its advantages, and even cryptocurrency, you can see that in Bitcoin has a $2,000 premium because the Argentinian currency basically collapsed, okay? And you can see a lot of countries also where the currencies collapsed. For example, you guys know, right, in countries like Venezuela, in countries like Zimbabwe, you know, we had this case of basically runaway inflation, and this is where cryptocurrency such as Bitcoin played a big role. So privacy coins are important because when you look at the scheme of things, people will still like to say private, and they'll still be in demand. And you know, Telecoin is an example of a coin that does conserve energy with its mining. It goes from mining and then it goes to proof of stake, and it also has a way to build large communities, which will lead to more Telecoin even being used. So, you know, what is a Telecoin? Well, Telecoin is really an open source project with the goal of providing energy efficient cryptocurrency, okay? It has to be energy efficient because now there's a lot of emphasis on the environment, and as long as you're energy efficient, that's really good for the environment, which is a plus. Now, in addition to that, they have enhanced privacy and security features that are based on cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Dash, and PIVX. And this is an example of a case where, you know, they're much better than the current privacy coins. And they also have innovations such as a proof of stake protocol, basically after block 1000, and to help further advance the field of cryptocurrency. And they also have new technologies such as obfuscation, Swift transactions, and also masternode capabilities. So you see down there basically the example, the advantages of Telecoin here, the masternode. You can secure that with a collateral of 10,000 TELE, and they get 60% of the rewards, okay, of the coins there. And you know, obfuscation and Swift transactions are done through the masternode. You have proof of stake protocol here, which happens after block 1000. And most importantly, I think, you know, I like this community governance part, because what they do when community governance, by having decentralized blockchain voting, they basically resolve a lot of problems with the decentralized organization, or DAO, that was present with Ethereum. So, you know, Telecoin is a branded offering. It's an IEO, initial exchange offering at LA Token. And this is very important because, you know, LA Token is a top 20 crypto exchange. #1 IEO fundraising launchpad by Inwara. So there's been 130 IEOs. That's a lot. 300 plus listings brought by here. 400,000 registered users. So there'll be a lot of liquidity here. Top 15 exchange in crypto trading by CMC and CoinGecko, represented in 20 countries. And, you know, there's a lot of trading pairs there. So, you know, it's about invest, fundraise, and transfer. And I like IEOs. I did a video on IEO. So an IEO is where the exchange does the due diligence. So we're just going to see my past presentation before on IEO, so that you guys understand how significant this actually is, because this does provide Telecoin with a lot of credibility. And now, in the aftermath of the crypto crash, credibility is almost everything. Talk about initial coin offerings. We saw this big rush as a way to finance young companies, and actually in 2017, okay, the money that was raised from ICOs, which is about $5.6 billion, was even higher than the money raised from early stage venture capital. Now, all of this was brought about by the introduction of Ethereum, okay, which had smart contracts and which allowed it to be used as a currency to raise capital. In fact, in 2018, in the first 3 months, 6.3 billion was raised through ICOs, and throughout the year, 22 to 24 billion was raised through ICOs, but they all seem to evaporate because 80% of the ICOs were failures. The ICOs had a dark side. Many were downright scams. I mean, this was like the wet dream for an entrepreneur, right? Just have a company, say you're in blockchain, and suddenly raise money like no tomorrow from unsuspicious investors, okay? Retail investors who really do not know anything much about investing, and they just want a moon and all that. So many people were caught out. Many people lost a lot of money. And this is where we need a guiding light for 2019, and that is IEOs, Initial Exchange Offerings. So unlike IEOs happen through an exchange. This could be an exchange like Bittrex, Binance, or Kucoin. And the IEOs will have to go through due diligence at the exchange. In fact, one of the most famous exchanges, which is Bittrex, they wanted to list a company through an IEO called RAID, but they canceled it last minute because their due diligence showed that, you know, some agreements were not signed between RAID and whoever was working with RAID. So this is good in a sense that us investors, most of us are not sophisticated, do not have to do all this due diligence in addition to, you know, filling out all the KYC forms, filling out all this proof of work, proof of love, you know, being active in the Telegram group, writing all these articles for Facebook and LinkedIn just to get a slice of the token. In fact, all of these, you know, when you talk about KYC, are done through the exchange. And where Telecoin really differentiates itself from the rest is this use case multiplier, okay? Because really when you have a use case, this is when people really start use of your coin. That's when people see a lot of value. Let's go have a look here at the site for Telecoin. So it's a very nice site here. This is actually what TELE is, anonymous peer-to-peer cryptocurrency. You can find out about the IEO here. It's being held on LA token. What is Telecoin, and also the projects that are involved in, which is the Trendsetter and also the telephone network. You can also look here at the team for Telecoin. I think the team is very important. This is Michael Alexander, the founder, Mamix, head of development. So the good thing of all of this is there is a LinkedIn profile. So you really want to use this for the LinkedIn profile, because without a LinkedIn profile, you really can't know you know, more details about these founders here. And as you all know, for a company that is just starting out, founders are very, very important. So this is Michael Alexander, founder of Notecrash, founder of Bison Digital. So he has a lot of experience finding great companies. And this is what he is now, co-founder and lead at Telecoin. And this is quite excellent because you want someone really, really experienced when you are launching a new company. So this basically meets the goal here. And you have people like all of this, you know, Perry Newman and Veer Singh. And all you need to do is just press like here, new non-executive board member. Just go onto LinkedIn and find out what they're about. This is head of legal practice, is Costigan King in United Kingdom. So this is very important because when you talk about Privacycoins, there's a lot of legal issues here. So having a head of legal practice being part of their team and part of their advisors is obviously very, very important here. So you go ahead, there's also a blog or news on the community of Telecoin, because without the community, there won't be anything. You can see all these connections here. You can find out more about Telecoin, especially on their Telegram group. I found out a lot of useful information on their Telegram group so that you understand more what Telecoin really is. Let's go back to home. And if you really want to know more about Telecoin, you just head on to the white paper here. So you can see here overview, features, and coin specs. See, it's being listed on Telecoin token. I like this part where they basically have tweets, which is really summaries of what Telecoin is. It's live on Telecoin token now. So if you go down and down, yeah, Telecoin is based on the same principles as a blockchain, a chain of blocks that have digital signatures and you go down some more, Telecoin advanced the field of cryptocurrency along with obfuscation, swift transactions, and masternode capability. Telecoin is an open source project with the goal of providing a long-term, energy-efficient cryptocurrency with enhanced privacy and security features built on the foundation of Bitcoin Dash and BIVX. Innovations such as POS, Proof of Stake Protocol, has been implemented to help further. And here is basically a summary of what Telecoin is. This is, of course, from the Instagram. So everything you will need will come to you at the perfect time, hosting an IO at LA Token Exchange. So this is really, really good because to me, it just provides a great summary of what Telecoin is. You can see really here the video. Blockchain distributed consensus model is the most important invention since the internet. Of course, Telecoin being a privacy coin and a privacy platform will provide further extensions to that with masternode, proof of stake, and community governance. The projects are very important, such as the telephone, and we saw also the trendsetter, the wallet on all these four platforms are coming soon: Windows, Mac, Linux, and they're all on GitHub. So again, when you talk about a project, you want to know that it's actually making waves in the news, right? So it is all here: Wall Street Journal, Morningstar, some very, very famous publications here, and this is good. And of course, you just join the community, and of course, there's a lot of press releases. You can learn a lot here, basically from the interview, okay? The interview with the Telecoin founders. So all of it is here, providing great source of information on the website that we see here. So let's see this Flywheel, something that was made popular by Jeff Bezos of Amazon, and this is how we're going to conclude the analysis of Telecoin today. Basically, in the Flywheel, you get growth, and how you do this is, you start with a lot of infrastructure investment. Since you have a lower cost structure, then you can lower prices. And as you lower prices, more and more customers come in, especially if your customer experience is good. That increases traffic, and you bring more sellers in. And of course, more sellers that are come into your system, then you have more customers coming in. In fact, this is the model used by Amazon and also Amazon Web Services to grow a totally large empire that a lot of people didn't even thought would happen. In fact, Amazon Web Services changes the world of startups by making it cheaper to have a business. So this is what Telecoin is doing with its Flywheel. It has a military style Android phone, and it also has a trendsetter. And this is how it fits into this Flywheel here. We're going to call it the Telecoin Flywheel. You see, it's now building a lot of infrastructure, especially for the coins. And, it has a proof of work before it goes to a proof of stake. And what happens next is that when you have something like the phone here, and you have something like the trendsetter here, it brings a lot of customers in, because here, when you talk about trendsetters here, it's basically a lot of influencers. And these are really the sellers in your platform. The more sellers you have, the more cross structure you're going to do. And of course, as they use more of the phone, the cost of operating the phone and all this will come down, while the usage will go up. And because the phone will be a good way to even keep coins and transfer coins and all that, it increases the customer experience. And when the customer experience comes in, more traffic comes in, which basically leads to more and more influencers coming in and more customers coming in. So this is how Telecoin basically increases the usage in this nice Amazon style Jeff Bezos Flywheel. So guys, that's it for now. Gonna see you guys soon for another review of another coin that is shaking the world. So that's it for Telecoin. Goodbye for now.